Thanks, Lascon Corner. We all know there's a housing crisis. And I'm disappointed that Minister O'Brien was afraid to stay here with me to hear some truths. And that's no disrespect to you, Minister. It's amazing when you'll hear the truth from an independent and from a rural independent and a person that's self-employed. And I've been self-employed all my life. And I understand what a knock-on effect is for housing, because I build houses. And I've always built one-off houses. I'm a small-time builder and a local builder. And I try and use local people, local merchants, to support local. That's what I do. The last contract I done, 92% of the people were local to the area. And when you give out big contracts to multinational companies, 4 and 5% of the people from the local area and the local merchants get the work. That's the difference between knowing what you're doing and working off of Dublin standards. Now, we will look at why we have a housing crisis and what the knock-on effect are for the 37% of the people that live in rural areas. We brought the Rural Independence, the 2040 plan, for you to amend the plan to allow people build in rural areas. And the Greens, Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael, voted against an amendment that would allow people to build on their own land, whether they were part of the farm or not, their heritage, and it could be their inheritance. All we asked was that you would give people a chance to build in their own houses, on their own land, or a site that they may have purchased, a site they might have been given, once they met the environmental guidelines and the housing guidelines. But you voted against it. So now we have people that want to use their own money with their own land to build their own houses, and you're adding them to the housing list. Then we come to successive governments. 33 years now, it was 32 years when I got here, but it's 33 years now, Askeaton is waiting for an upgrade of their sewerage system where they're pumping raw sewage into the rivers. Glynn is in trouble, Drumculloher is in trouble, I can go to hospital is in trouble, sewerage systems. And a report out shows that the biggest contributor to pollution in Ireland is the local authorities, from the lack of funding from government. So it comes back, and I'll break it down for you in case you can't understand, because, and I don't mean this be disrespectful to anyone, and I won't, but in the country we can call people, there are some overeducated fools. And what we call an overeducated fool, in certain cases, a person that's so well educated that they get up in the morning and they have to look at a chart to put on their trousers and put on their shoes, but they can run the country because they have no experience of what it is to be self-employed. Well, I'm a person that's self-employed, and a lot of people that were here yesterday in the fisheries are self-employed. The farmers, which you put more controls on, are self-employed. The SMEs that give 51% of the employment in Ireland are self-employed. And who do you target with all the different taxes? 37% of the people in the rural areas. So you brought a carbon tax. What did that entail for people living in a rural area? That means every man, woman and child that need to go to school, need to go to work, need to go do their shopping, is being charged extra tax by you and your government to do this, because they have no infrastructure. They have no bus service, they have no train service, they have nothing. So we pay more taxes to support you. And then where do you put the money? Let's head to Dublin. We just heard there a minute ago a TD thanking the Minister for Housing for giving them €5 million here in Dublin to upgrade some of the derelict houses. Every day I come up here, I see how tunnel visioned you are Deputy Collins here recognised it a while ago when he said that when you come past a red cow, now a red cow could be a whitehead, if you understand farming, but it's a red cow. Is that why you called it a red cow up here? Because when you pass it, you're going into rural areas, so you try and stay this side of it. Is that why it is? Minister, 37% of the people in Ireland are going to revolt on your government for your failure to recognise farming, fisheries, construction and SMEs. You're overtaxing everyone in the 37% to pay for your vision. Your vision, and your own minister said it, and I've said it before, he believes for the population of 3,000 people, 30 cars are adequate and we can carpool. You tell that to a farmer that wants to get his cattle to the mart, or somebody that's in an area that they have to cycle down to get a carpooling car to go to work. And your minister, Eamon Ryan, hasn't commented yet and has been asked twice to come down to Limerick. And I'll put him up for a week. I'll give him a house. I'll let him be isolated. He'll give him a good bike. I'll even give him a repair kit in case he gets an old puncture on the road. And I'll tell him, now off you go and you get your shopping and you go to work and try and get to here for 1 week. That's real life. Now we look what else your carbon tax has done. And I heard that another TD mention, if Louth County Council, if the rest of the country looked after Louth County Council, where they built houses for 182,000, again I'm going to give him a reality check. In the last 3 months, the price of steel has gone up 62% in 3 months. Why do I know this? Because I buy steel for housing. The price of insulation has gone up by 44%. Why do I know this? Because I'm in construction. The price of timber has escalated through the roof and gone up another 44%. Again, why do I know this? I'm in construction. Why did I pick out where the problems are? We cannot get our stuff through Dublin Port. We cannot get through our place in any port with the restrictions that are in place. And where does the problem lie? But it comes back to government again. The felling licenses. When a simple solution to the felling licenses was, when you got a license to plant the forestry, included in that is a felling license. Yes, it has to be monitored, but that includes when you get the license to grow the trees, you then get a felling license. 6 and 7 months into it now, we still haven't got a felling license. And now the cost again, going back again to the people that want to build houses. And I see statistics there and that the minister gave a while ago about the cost of building houses between 160 and 310,000. A difference between a 2,600 square foot house in the last 12 months is 84,000 euros at present and rising. That's a 2,500 square foot house. So, Minister, if you don't want the 37% of the people in the rural areas, and believe me, we're gathering and we're coming together fast. Not only when the fisheries were out there yesterday, the farmers were there as well. And now we're going to get the SMEs and everyone else, the 37 people in Roland, and we are going to come back up and claim what is rightfully ours and stop you squandering our money. And you putting people into cities. I have uncles living here in Dublin. I have first cousins living here in Dublin. But they came from the county. And they're also going to revolt against you. What do you send us? The LDA. And down on the paperwork, what does it say? They'll only produce houses for people that have a population of over 30,000. That covers Limerick City. There's more in Limerick than the city because we're a county, and I'm representing the county. You do nothing for the rural areas. That's towns, villages, and rural areas. You've never given us funding to upgrade our infrastructure so we can actually help the environment, help the housing crisis, and all you do is put obstacles in our way to stop people on a daily basis and cost them more because you have all the services in the large cities and towns by using our money from the rural towns, villages and areas where you're not willing to invest. That's what's wrong with you. So wake up, Minister. I'll give you a reality check, and I'll bring you down if you'd like to come down as well, and I'll put you up and see how you last
Thank
for
you,
a week
Deputy.
in rural areas.
Thank you.